Hello everybody and welcome back to KSP POV, where we play Kerbal Space Program in first person. In the last episode we took monumental steps forward in our program by putting steps on the Mun with some Kerbals. We are going to revisit the Mun once again though with some probes, and I think this time we're going to try to send a mapping probe, if we have the technology, to scan the surface of the Mun and give us back a little more information. And I think the goal is going to be to send a couple more probes down to the surface, collect as much science as we can from the Mun, and before we move on to Mid-Mess. So let's go ahead and get started. First and foremost, though, we have a big old chunk of science to spend. So let's go ahead and see what we can unlock that will help us along our mission. Okay, first thing we need to do is grab ourselves precision engineering. It has a lot of stuff that we're going to find useful, but primarily we need it to get into scanning tech. We also need to get space exploration. Once again, a lot of useful stuff. This Bon Voyage mod we are going to be exploring soon when we send our first rover to the Mun. And that leads into advanced exploration. We're also going to want this because after we send probe rovers to the Mun, we're going to want to send Kerbals with a little science rover, as well as a mobile processing lab to get all that science up and research. So we're going to grab that as well, which now that unlocks scanning tech. And we're going to want the M700 survey scanner for this, and that's going to give us a very detailed look at the Mun and Mid-Mess and any other place we want it to be. It also gives us access to the medium scanning arm, which means that we can get quite a load of science once we do send our Kerbals down there. And it gives us access to the ERS rover system from the ERS mod, and that will I don't know if we're going to use that on the Mun. I don't feel like it's very well equipped to handle the Mun's rocky surface. And we do have collision turned on, so that will be a challenge. However, I do really enjoy the IVA cabin of this, so we may just put up with it and see what we can handle. But that gives us a bunch of those parts as well. So we're going to grab that. And unfortunately, we only have 364 science remaining. I wouldn't mind grabbing better life support. These are smaller capsules and larger capsules. I wouldn't mind that, but since we're not doing a crewed vessel right now, we're not going to take that. We're going to take the specialized control for the Probodobodine Hex, as well as the fly-by-wire avionics hub, and this one will give us access to all maneuver nodes everywhere we can point: normal, anti-normal, radial in, radial out, as well as point towards target and maneuver. So this is going to give us a lot of control for our probes. It also gives us some pretty good thruster blocks for our RCS, and some other things I haven't played around with, but this is a very good node. Oh, and a very large reaction wheel, because our rockets are starting to get pretty large, so having a large reaction wheel will only benefit us. So we only have a little bit of science left to spend, 204 points, so we're going to spend the last 160 on some better in-space engines. I wouldn't mind the better lifting engines, except for the fact that it really only gives us the Bobcat. Let's see. Oh, well, actually the Walrus liquid fuel isn't too bad. You know what? Yeah. I thought the best engine it was going to give us would be the Bobcat, which we already have, but that only gives us a thrust of 374, whereas even the Skipper gives us better at 568, but the Walrus gives us a whopping 678 kilonewtons of thrust at sea level. So we're going to take that, and that's going to help us with our launches. So let's go back out there and build us a rocket that can send a satellite to scan the Mun. We're going to grab this Perform an Orbital Research Survey of the MUN, and we're going to try to achieve that with our ScanSat. So with that grabbed, I think that is the last of the missions that I want to grab for this. The only one really relevant to today's flight. So let's go ahead and start a building. Okay, so first things first, we need a probe that can get out to the MUN. So we're going to go ahead and utilize either the Octo or the Hex. We can go with the Hex because it's just slightly more powerful. Uses up slightly more battery, but has slightly better antenna rating, I believe. Let's go ahead and turn this into the maybe the retro? No. That's the question, is do we want to launch Kerbals with this? We do have a contract to plant a flag on the MUN. So we could make this a crewed landing on the MUN in addition to the planting of the ScanSat. That may be a little ambitious, but we may be able to handle that. Let's see something for a sec. I'll be right back. Okay, so we didn't have a program available. I wanted to see if the MUN program had already been completed, and it has been. Okay, everything is relatively the same, except this one is slightly more expensive. We're gonna go with that just for the fact that I want the highest technology possible on our ScanSat. And I've decided that yes, I think I will make this a crewed landing vessel as well. So we're gonna build that next. So let's get our batteries going. Let's get this ScanSat made first and foremost. Okay, this is a decent layout for that. We're not using remote tech, so we actually don't need. I think these satellite dishes may be a little overkill. Hold on, and they are just relays. I'm gonna want a direct signal. Okay, so let's put these on with a balance of 2. There we go. Alright, we can retract these solar panels. That looks good. Okay, so now let's start getting our science on, our scanning tech. First things first, we're going to need the survey scanner because that is what our mission calls for. Let's see. Perform an orbital research survey of the MUN. So that's that. Perfect. But we also have ScanSat on here. Let's go ahead and throw one of the Kerbal Engineer. There we go. Let's put it there. We also have ScanSat on here, so we're gonna want to gather some science or some map data from that as well. So it looks like we actually don't have very much scanning tech. We don't really have the ability to gather the data that ScanSat needs. So we'll just pack on what we do have and deal with that. Okay, so that is good. Let's get it some propulsion just in case we need to adjust its orbit or anything of the sort. I'm gonna clip these in ever so slightly. I guess clip it in by half, so however you want to define that. We're gonna clip it in that way. And throw an engine here right on the back. Maybe we'll take that off. Alright, so that gives us over 1,000 Delta V with just this. So that is looking good. We may even be able to use this in more than one mission. Let's go ahead and set up our action groups. And now I have recently discovered the action set. I mean, I played with it right in the beginning when I first started playing Kerbal. I knew how to do this. And then I added mods and I thought something changed. But it turns out you just have to check that box. So action group 1 is going to be scan set action groups. There we go. Alright, so custom 1 we want to be deploy as always. So extend the solar panels there. I guess, no, nothing else. Alright, so I guess just extend the solar panels. Oh, we are going to want a reaction wheel on this. There we go. Alright, so custom group 2 is going to be deploy the scanners. Let's see, hold on. So this needs to be at minimum altitude of 25 kilometers. This doesn't say what it needs to be at minimum field of vision. But this doesn't say what it needs to be at. Okay, so we can put that on there. Oh, wait. No, it's the universal storage. Yeah, this still doesn't say what it needs to be put on, so we'll leave that as well. Maximum altitude of 1,000 meters, so we're gonna have to bring this down to a lower altitude to record that one. Oh, you know what? This has anomaly detection. We'll put that on right here as well. Okay. Alright, so oh wait, what was the maximum height on this? It doesn't say. Alright, so because it doesn't say, I think we can just put it all on the second action group. And action group 3 is going to be the transmit data. And I think this is good to go. So we're going to just do, let's put some communications on it real fast. Just some simple ones. Communitron 16 over here. And we'll put Communitron 16 over here. Pointed that way. So let's also put these onto the deploy stage, and oops, let's just go ahead and extend that right now. Get that extended, and let's put this to the mission control KSA. Let's save. We're gonna do a test flight of this real fast to see that it can handle everything that it needs to, that the solar panels are good enough to run all the experiments in orbit of the Mun. So we're going to do a simulation of that. As always with an extended episode, channel members, you can see the simulations and all the test flights that we're going to do for this. So if that's something you're interested in, if you're looking for more flights, more commentary on things go, learning as we move along and seeing what it takes to make all these changes as we go along, go ahead and check out our channel membership if you'd like. But I'll see you soon. Well, that went off without a hitch, so we can go ahead and retract that, and that is perfect. So let's we are going to remove the multispectral, whichever one that required us to be at 1,000 meters. So not that. Which one required 1,000 meters? Was it this one? Regardless, whichever one required us to be at 1,000 meters above the surface when we recorded it, we're just going to attach that to the lander. Yeah, max altitude of 1,000 meters. So we're going to take that off. We're going to attach that to the lander. So let's put on a decoupler here. or a stack separator. Let's put on a stack separator there. And we are going to reroute it. So there's that. And let's make this a sub-assembly because that's actually a pretty decent scan sat. ScanSat Mach 1. 25 kilometers max. Okay, that is good enough. We're not going to name the whole craft that because this is going to be a multi-purpose craft. So let's go ahead and work on the next part. Let's see, what kind of parachutes do we have? We do have a real stack chute. Excellent. So I'm going to put that there. And then we are going to attach, I think I want to try out the Mach 2 command pod. That's way too big. Interesting. I'd like to try this one out, I think. So let's see. Yeah, this doesn't fit very well with this. I don't like the way that it sits as a hat. No, I think I'm gonna go with the tried and true method. That's an even worse hat. But the tried and true method of the Mach 1 command pod with the Mach 1 lander cam. Beautiful. So let's take that off for now and just focus on the lander cam. First things first, we're gonna need a parachute. I think that might be good enough on its own. Let's throw that heat shield on there. Yeah, I think that'll be good enough on its own with the parachute here. Maybe we add some drogue chutes? Yeah, let's just add some drogue chutes just to make ourselves feel better. There we go. Landing at about 3.5 meters per second. It'll be slow, but it'll be good. Take that off. It's only 3.4. Alright. We're going to go without the drogue chutes. Hopefully I don't regret that decision. Hopefully I do live to regret that decision. Alright, let's focus on the lander aspect. Let's see. Let's get these set up to the KSA. What is it? The KSA that we liked or the DE? You know what? Let's do the DE plus MAS. Let's see how that goes. See what that's like. Alright, so first thing first, we're going to need life support. Let's grab that, bring it down. Life support's here. Ooh, we don't have any of the cylindrical options. I thought we had unlocked better life support, but we did not. So we're gonna just have to pack a whole bunch with us. Payload bay. We don't need to make this mission in the name of science, really, because ooh, we did actually do... No, we did do a lot of science. Yeah, we did a lot of science. Sorry, it's been a couple seconds since the last recording. So, forgive me for trying to work out a few things in the moment. That's way too big. There we go. Get a couple of batteries in there. We're just gonna clip that into the floor. There we go. Alright, so now we have a base and we can attach our hex cans around. So 2 food, 2 oxygen, 2 water, 2 waste. Okay, what does that give us? 47 days, 70 days, 100 days, 42. Okay, so we're definitely going to need more waste. So let's put that there. 82 days. Definitely going to need more water. I don't foresee us being out this many days, but I do want us to be prepared. And then, I guess water, right? Let's plop that in there. Actually, let's see. Let's move the food can over here. And we're gonna put one water can here and one waste can here. Alright, so the food will run out a little sooner than everything else, but we have roughly 100 days. So we can go ahead and close that. Perfect. Wait, was that for Max Crew? Yes, perfect. Alright, so that is set. Let us add the experiments on here that we want to achieve. Actually, no. Let's build the rest of the lander, and then we'll focus on the science. Let's try to do a different type of lander this time. Maybe we'll do. Yeah, we've got the docking port Junior available. Now the question is, can we add subassembly? Yes, we can. All right, we'll have to test that out in our test flight. But yeah, so maybe we'll do an Apollo-style mission with this. Let's see what kind of sizes we have. Okay, not bad. That gives us 1,000 Delta V. It's not bad at all. Gives us another 1,000 Delta V, which means that we should have enough to land on the Mun. Doesn't look very nice, so maybe we'll figure out something to make it look a little better. Not too bad. Alright, let's get a ladder on this thing. Alright, so we got our ladder going. Subtract the legs. And let's get a camera on this thing. Let's get some lights on this thing. Let's do this upright. I think we only really need 2 lights. These things are bright enough as is. There we go. And let's just, right now, let's take these off the light. Take this off the light action group, and we'll put him onto the landing gear action group. Toggle light. Let's we'll toggle the ladders as well. So when the landing gears go down, so do the ladders. So that way we don't even have to worry about whether or not we can do that. All right. It's a fun little thing. It's quite tall. Hopefully we can manage. We are going to need some RCS on this though, if we plan on doing any kind of rendezvousing. So let's go ahead and get some of that going. Oh, that's going to make it even taller. Put that in there. I don't want them interfering with the window at all, so we're gonna kind of tuck it in like that. Maybe even extend it. No. Tuck it in like that. Change it to... Oh, it doesn't... Oh, these aren't even RCS capable. Well, shoot. These are RCS monoprop tanks. That is going to interfere with the window. I don't want that to be the case. I'm going to just clip that in there. Normally don't like clipping, but I want that to be just more functional than part of the design. And I don't want it to get in the way of the cameras or anything like that. So now we just need to throw the actual RCS blocks on there and call it a day. Oh, we're going to want a reaction. Oh, we have a reaction wheel in there. We're going to want a reaction wheel in here too, I think. There we go. Give us a little better control. Ooh, but that does change the size once again. So let's bring that in, clip it around. Oh, what did I do? Oh no, what did I do? Oh, of course. I was just talking about clipping, and this is what I get. This is what I get. Whew, there we go. Okay, let's take this off and find what the center of mass is. Alright, that's not too bad. Now, I like the five-way. I like the five-way RCS. I'll put it there. And again, I also don't want it. I don't want it in the way once more. So let's put it there. Let's attach it to that, right? And then we will lift it up to like right there. Yeah, so when we pull that off, these will come with. So that way when we're re-entering the atmosphere, we don't need to deal with RCS blocks, creating drag or anything. We're just bringing back the bare necessities. Okay, so speaking of bare necessities, I feel like we've gone through a lot here, and it's taken a lot of time on this, but it's all useful stuff. So first and foremost, we want a landing cam. Like a straight up, right on the leg, look downwards landing cam. Perfect. Next, before we do the next landing cam, let's put in our solar panels. We're going to do 4 of them because we've got the room there. We are going to put in another camera. You know what? We'll settle with 2. We'll settle with 2 here. I'm gonna put that camera in right there. Actually, we'll put it in right there. All right, sounds good. Let's put that there. Oh shoot, we do need a camera on this thing, I think. Okay, looking good. What are we gonna name this? We name everything after the mission that it is. We're gonna call this Progress. Progress Mark 1 0 plus 2, because that is, or actually excuse me, 1 plus 2, because it has probe control as well as 2 for the cockpit. All right, we are getting ready to be able to do our first test. Let's get some science on here. What was one of the things that we needed? We needed the surface scanning module. Put that right there. We only need the one. We also want to put on some of these D-Magic experiments, I think. Put that one there. We'll put that one here. Do we have the third one? Yes, right here. We'll put that back here. I hope this can get low enough to collect. Put it right there. Okay, so we've got that. Let's get these on action groups and then we'll get settled. So custom 1 is the scan set. So let's do set 2. It's going to be the lander. All right, and so custom 1, we're going to want toggle the solar panels. Custom 2 is going to be the surface scanning module. I don't know how to do that though. It's very peculiar. Okay, regardless, we'll do custom 2 will be the collect the seismic data, collect the core sample, and collect the laser data. That sounds good. Okay, now we are also going to want to bring with us some cargo. And yeah, so we are going to want to start adding some experiments. So let's grab the mystery goo and the experiment control station on that one. We're going to grab the ground slam passive seismometer for that one, and a photovoltaic panel. And let's just put, ooh, I could put it like this. No, it's too much, I think. Actually, yeah, that's not a bad idea. All right, let's get that out of there. Let's remove this one from symmetry and get that out of there. Okay. So we may end up removing some of these as well. We may not need all these, but let's do that again. So that. Oh, we don't have any communication dishes, so there's no way that we can transmit this science, I believe. Well, I guess I did only need those 2, really. So, oh, we can put that in here. Remove that from symmetry, remove that from symmetry. So we'll get rid of that, get rid of that. And balanced as all things should be. There we go. All right, let's go ahead and get our crew set up. Valentina has been to the Mun already twice now, I believe. So, or maybe just the one time. But regardless, she's been to the Mun. So let's bring Bob along. And, I mean, we're going to need Bob again for some science. But let's go to the astronaut complex. Let's save this first. And then let's go to the astronaut complex and see if we can hire ourselves a new Kerbal to be our scientist. A lot of stupidity in our scientists these days. So, Alald, you are going to be our newest scientist because you're just slightly less dumb than the others. All right, there we go. We got him in the Mach 1 lander can. So I believe, without further ado, we are ready to test fly this thing and see if we can land on the Mun. So let's make sure our staging is correct, which it is not. There we go. Get those. We're going to knock this off first. We're going to leave that in orbit. The next thing, this is going to be our return stage. I'm going to have these on separate stages. I think that'll just make me feel better. Alright. That is looking good. Let's go ahead and test fly this, and I'll see the channel members in a second. I'll see you even quicker. Alright, so we had a problem here. That is, this was not able to decouple. So let's go ahead and just get rid of that for now. And we're also going to add another ladder here, but we're actually going to connect it to that one because we were not able to get from one ladder to the other. So we're going to just go ahead and do that a little bit. There we go. We also don't need that experiment because that's only for planets with atmospheres. And we're going to move this camera up here because once we jettison the lower side, we're not going to be able to use it anymore. So we're just going to keep that because we want that as a stable source of visuals. All right, because of the fact that we can't, we don't have the communication dishes for our ground science, we're actually going to hold off on deploying the ground science in this mission. We're going to wait until we can have the communication dishes as well, set it all up all at once. And in fact, we'll probably bring both the scientist and the engineer at the same time, plus the pilot. So we'll wait till we have a 3-person command module for that. Okay, so once again, back into the testing. Make sure that this stage has enough delta V, just barely enough delta V to land. So this is perfect. This is perfectly designed. And then this, we didn't get the chance to determine whether or not it would get back into orbit. So we're going to go ahead and test that once again. Okay, so that was quite the amazing test, and we found out that the only thing we need to do is get rid of that docking port. There's really no need for it. We're not going to do an Apollo style rendezvous and all that because we just don't have a landing return cockpit that can hold all the Kerbals that we want to, and we built this to take the brunt of the heat of reentry. So this is actually designed for basically direct descent anyways. And it worked out that we had enough fuel in both these containers that we can do a direct descent without having to make it look all funky as we normally do. I will want to have a stage that takes us from low carbon orbit to the MUN, even if it's the launch vehicle itself, but because I want to use this fuel solely for landing. So let's go ahead and add in the coupler here, followed by fairing. That looks good enough. Get this all wrapped up into a fairing. There we go. Let's make this orange, since it's a combination of both probe and crew. Alright, now let's get ourselves a launch vehicle capable of lifting this all by itself. Let's try out our new engines, the Walrus. So, alright, so it's got a, oh wait, we gotta check in the atmosphere. Okay, so it's got a thrust to weight of over 1, so it will lift upwards, that's good, but it doesn't have enough delta V to get into orbit. So let's go ahead and throw on some side boosters. We're going to throw some fuel ducts on there. Put them all on the same stage. Alright, so that should have plenty of delta V to get us into orbit. Plenty of thrust to weight ratio to get us off the launch pad. And plenty of thrust that we don't actually need any aerodynamic control surfaces. So that is good. Let's just make sure that it is stable by going and throwing some struts on there. That should be good. We'll get a camera on board so we can see our launch. There we go. And let's throw a flag on there for good luck. Alright, so let's check our staging. Side boosters. That. We do have larger reaction wheels, so let's go ahead and throw one of those on there. Since we got the biggest type, that'll be great. And, oh, we lost a lot of delta V throwing that on there, so let's get a smaller one if we can. Alright, so we did actually lose some delta V in the process along the way from the last time when I said, oh, that's because our staging went all wonky. So let's throw that there. Alright, yep, 3,465. That looks correct. Yep, okay. So that looks good. Let's save that. And we're going to simulate the launch, make sure that we can get this thing to the MUN, and then we will get ourselves ready to go. Oh, you know what? Let's throw some launch clamps on there, just for safety. Okay, so that was actually a really cool test. We learned a lot. Most importantly, being that more boosters. More boosters. You know what? We're gonna do them. We're gonna do it this way instead of 4-way. I'm just gonna make an extra wide rocket. Okay, so those all launch at the same time. And then we're gonna do these side boosters first, followed by those, followed by that. And yeah, that should be good to go. All right, let's just do. We're gonna do a quick test flight of just the launch profile, make sure everything looks great as is, and then we will be ready to put this out on launch pad, get some Kerbals back on the MUN, plant a flag. For the sake of glory, for the simple act of planting a flag, because that's all we got the mission for. That's the entirety that we're kind of doing this. We're just going back to the MUN for that. We were going to do some ground science, but for now, let's just go to another biome, collect the bit of science that we have. You know what? Actually, let's throw on a couple of the residual experiments here. That on, and we'll throw on one of these. There we go. And we'll add those to the action group. We will have to try to remember to grab that science before we go. Oh yeah. We don't need the RCS on here. Just extra weight, because we're not doing the docking procedure, so we don't need it. Okay. I will see y'all on the launch pad momentarily. But that is going to have to come in the next episode. I spent a lot of time on the build process in this one, and I'm pretty happy with that. I think we did a lot of interesting things with our rocket. I think it's definitely different than what my common moon landers look like, especially my direct descent ones. So I'm pretty happy with this. I think we're going to lead our way up to doing an actual Apollo style soon enough, but maybe we'll do that for Min-Miss. But anyways, in the next episode, we're going to start off right on the launch pad and just get on going with the mission. And that too itself will probably take the entirety of the episode length of time. So I'm excited for that. And if you want to check that out early, we have that available on our channel membership right now. But if not, it will be available in a week on next Monday. But anyways, that's where I'm going to leave today's episode. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you're looking forward for more KSP POV. If you did, please consider subscribing. Drop me a like, let me know your thoughts, and I will see y'all in the next one. Take care.